count a first-degree reckless injury as party to a crime. The firefighter and his brother said a man entered their house uninvited last week. According to the criminal complaint, the two used a bat to beat up the man and stomped on his head multiple times. Police arrested Dwight Jackson last Friday. He could face up to 25 years in prison if convicted.
An ex-public defender in Milwaukee involved in a prostitution ring investigation faces additional accusations.
Travis Schwantes was charged last month with 2 misdemeanors related to prostitution for having sexual relationships with several current and past clients. Further investigation now suggests he had sexual relationships with at least 3 other women he's represented. Several of the women identified themselves as past victims of human trafficking or sexual assaults, and all of them knew Schwantes worked as an attorney. So far, Schwantes has not been charged with additional counts. He's due in court next week with 5 other men in connection with the prostitution ring. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
New Jersey lawmakers are demanding federal agencies be more transparent about multiple drone sightings in recent weeks. Witnesses report car-sized devices flying over parts of the tri-state and mid-Atlantic regions. ABC's Jay O'Brien is on Capitol Hill.
New Jerseyans that I've talked to are describing this as one word has come up in numerous conversations I've had, which is insulting. I talked to one New Jersey lawmaker, and what he said to me is, quote, people believe their own eyes. And so they're not accepting the explanation that the White House, the Department of Homeland Security, the FBI have all come out with as saying that nothing nefarious is going on here and that many of these sightings are civilian aircraft.
Federal agencies say no foreign actor is involved and there's no immediate threat.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A lot of red today. Still chance for a turnaround, however. The Dow down about 60 points at 43,858. NASDAQ off about 40 today at 19,865. S&P 500 down about 10 at 6,044. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
We're looking ahead to the Packers' big game coming up on Sunday next. Sports, traffic, and weather right after this. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:05.
Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. As a 5-time President's Club Award winner, Exterior Pros is not playing around. With flexible financing, it's never been easier to invest in your home without breaking the bank. Get started today and save $2,000. Visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274. That's 262-800-4274. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation today.
Healthy joints, healthy lifestyle. Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Arthritis, injuries, wear and tear, common joint issues that keep you from doing what you love. At OAW, a visit to the doctor doesn't always mean surgery. Everyone is different. Surgeons, nurses, physical therapists work together to come up with a plan for you. Maybe it's PT, medication, injection, and if you do need surgery like I did, you know you're in the best of hands. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin, there is a difference. Book an appointment online at orthowisconsin.com.
I remember a guy by the name of Al Stankovich. Oh, yes.
Ben and Arvid from Penny Mustard Furnishings.
Al and his wife bought, it was the first big bedroom set we ever sold. It was the Paramount bedroom set. I don't think he knew, and I think we were scared to tell him that it was the biggest sale we ever made at the point in time. I think we were dancing after he walked out the door.
I think we were in the store at 11:30 or midnight, just visiting with them. They're just
nice people.
Really nice people, and it was just one of the perfect all-around transactions.
I remember that sale.
I delivered that.
PennyMustard.com.
Do not be afraid. Archbishop Listecki here. The words spoken to Mary are familiar words from the years of Pope John Paul II. We can sometimes be fearful and anxious that we may not be able to respond to the challenges that God presents to us. But God is with us and for us. Like Mary, He will use us as instruments of His power, sharing His love for our brothers and sisters. Be not afraid. It's Advent. Join us at Mass.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Volkswagen. Visit hallvw.com.
If you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Mazda traffic tip line 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Volkswagen during Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Packers are a healthy team heading into Sunday's game against the Seahawks in Seattle. Just one player, rookie safety Javon Bullard, unable to practice this week.
To have everybody, relatively healthy and to be able to have, our top guys out there will be huge for us.
Packers quarterback Jordan Love, he'll make his first career start in Seattle on Sunday night. And a big day of women's volleyball. Marquette takes on top seed Penn State in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament this afternoon at 2:30. The Wisconsin Badgers, a number 2 seed, will face Texas A&M tonight. You can hear that match right here on WTMJ with coverage beginning at 5:30.
Taking a look at the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time-saver traffic. No big crashes, but we do have a disabled vehicle that just popped up. We have a couple disabled vehicles out on the system, but I want to let you know about this one. It's on I-94 at Mitchell Boulevard, and I'm letting you know about this one just because it looks like it's blocking the ramp. One of the sheriff's squads just pulled up there. They're kind of checking things out, so we'll see how quickly this gets cleared up. But right now, we do have a disabled vehicle on I-94 westbound at Mitchell.
Increasing clouds today, a high of 28 degrees. Temperatures not going to drop. Once they get to 28, they're going to hold there. In fact, that is our overnight low, 28 degrees. Saturday, we warm up, mostly cloudy. Rain moves in later on, a high of 40 degrees, up to 43 with rain on Sunday, 48, rain likely on Monday. Right now in Milwaukee, it's 15 degrees and partly sunny at 11:09.
Live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
You don't get spooked out by a Friday the 13th thing, do you? Full moon, black cat, things going wrong, don't walk under a ladder?
Not really, but if I'm being totally honest, I was taking a peek, just kind of looking ahead at the day today, last night, and then all of a sudden I saw the date and I went, oh. Because it wasn't on my mind that it was going to be Friday the 13th, but yeah.
Does it take you back to the thrilling movie series that were, like the Friday the 13th movies?
Oh, like Freaky Friday?
Yeah.
I mean, things are going well so far. I hope we didn't just jinx it.
I hope not either.
Did you walk under a ladder or open an umbrella?
No, a ladder fell it was on my patio the other day, and it fell in the windstorm, but...
if you said today, I might be worried, but no.
No, I think we're good. I think we're good. It's going to be a good day, no doubt. It's 11:10 here. We're following some big stories here this morning.
3 big things on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Number 1, raising money for a murder suspect. Supporters are donating by the minute to defense funds for the man accused of killing the CEO of United Healthcare. The numbers just keep going up. It's just, if you look at this, it's just fascinating to watch. One of the funds for Luigi Mangione is up to almost $77,000.
His supporters are donating tens of thousands of dollars to online legal defense funds, including one set up anonymously on Give, Send, Go. The group saying we are not here to celebrate violence, but we do believe in the constitutional right to fair legal representation.
I checked out some of the notes on that donation page right before the show. One person this morning wrote, NYPD officer here. I speak on behalf of myself and other officers. We are rooting for you behind the scenes because of fear of losing our jobs. The man went on to write, my wife died 2 years ago. She had cancer and her insurance company wouldn't pay for her medicine. America's watching and wishing you the best outcome.
That is unbelievable. In the comments, really, it started from day one, right, when this happened. The comments that would support each story, whatever the publication, online, whatever, it was almost split, like it's sort of justifying the murder in cold blood in the streets of New York.
Yeah, and some of these comments, I thought this one was one of the most fascinating ones that I saw that had just popped up, but there were a handful of them. And just to give you an idea of how quickly this money is going up, I checked right before the show, and we were up to almost $77,000. During that little story, during that soundbite, as we call it, I went onto the website again, and we're now up to almost $78,000.
Wow.
So that's how quickly people are donating to this guy.
Yeah, related story here. Number 2, Central Florida's Brianna Boston, 42-year-old mother of 3. She faces up to 15 years behind bars for making threats to Blue Cross Blue Shield over a rejected medical claim.
The nature of the threats, we would also be asking for GPS with house arrest conditions to protect the community.
Yeah, GPS and house arrest. That's the request of the Polk County judge presiding over the case. In a phone conversation with the insurance provider, Boston allegedly quoted Mangione saying, delay, deny, depose, you people are next. That didn't go over very well, as you might expect. Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor.
It's not like she's a child. She's 42 years old, so we're not dealing with a child here. She should certainly know better.
Boston charged with threats to conduct a mass shooting or an act of terrorism. Her bond was set at $100,000.
Well, and that's the thing. They don't want more and more people to start doing this kind of thing. And at some point, you got to show that there are consequences. We'll see what happens to this woman. Number 3, still glad you cut the cord? Subscribers to some major TV services are getting price increases this holiday season. YouTube TV is going up to $83 a month. ABC News entertainment contributor Kelly Carter.
They were looking at ways to cut costs of what it was to consume cable television, but the fact of the matter is that it costs more than ever, and it almost doesn't matter where you get your TV from right now.
When it launched in 2017, a subscription for YouTube TV was $35 a month. Everybody thought that was a screaming deal.
It's how they got you in.
Right? And it was a screaming deal at the time.
Definitely, no doubt.
2 years later, it jumped to $50 a month, so it was kind of like, ouch, but not terrible. Then last year to $73 a month, and then next month to $83 a month.
Okay, so I get it, right? It's not a shock to me that it costs more today than it did when it launched in 2017. I would expect that. But if you're going to raise or even double the price over the course of, 6-7 years, you can't reduce your offerings. And right now, there's Brewers fans and Bucks fans saying, great, YouTube TV doubled its price. I still can't watch the sports that I really want to watch. And that is a source of frustration for anybody who has YouTube TV. I never cut the cord. I stayed with cable. I like cable. It works in a rainstorm. It's reliable. They seem to solve their disputes with some of the providers, and I end up being able to watch what I want to watch. Admittedly, I've got more stations than I need, and that what I think I'm paying for. But now the cost, it's pretty similar when you package all this stuff together.
Yeah, it does end up being so. I wasn't super quick to cut the cord, but eventually my husband convinced me to. And honestly, I never looked back. It was so nice to take that big box of all the cords back to the cable company. And my bill was insane. So he was like, this is crazy. So I was very glad to do it. But it is so true. In fact, last night we turned on the TV to watch nightly news. And all of a sudden he's like, look, YouTube TV going up.
Yeah.
And so you do have that, okay, it's getting close to cable.
I'm a Spectrum subscriber, but admittedly, I don't have the cable boxes. I have Apple TV, and I have the Spectrum app. So we do stream, so I don't like all the wires and all that stuff either. So that stuff's all gone. Apple TV has kind of made it a streaming opportunity for us.
I do like Apple TV a lot.
Yeah,
we do
nice.
that from time to time, not all year.
It's handy. It's very handy. 11:15 on WTMJ. What's to make of all these drones flying over New Jersey? And who's responsible for making sure the public is safe? We dive in after this.
Here come the holidays. Let me help get you ready. It's Experience Wisconsin. Every Saturday at 1 o'clock, we spin you around the state and introduce you to cool places and businesses. This week, I'm super jazzed. O&H Danish Bakery and the Eleanor Room.
Yep, it was named after Eleanor Roosevelt, who came to Greendale in 1937 and toured it. And so we wanted to kind of pay homage to her.
What special spaces? Check out Experience Wisconsin, Saturdays at 1, right here on 620 WTMJ.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
Where the heck is everybody?
Beg your pardon?
I'm at your store and...
Yes?
Nobody's here.
That's because Hasselus mattress showrooms are employee-free. Take your time and test our selection of Beauty Rest, Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, and more without commission-crazy salespeople breathing down your neck.
Yeah, sure, you say that, but come on.
What?
Where the heck is everybody?
Hasselus really is employee-free.
Okay.
So we can sell mattresses for way less. Like the Beauty Sleep by Beauty Rest Elm Cove B Queen. Others sell it for $12.99, but Hasselus has it for $8.42. Plus, check out super low pricing on Sealy Posturepedic, Serta Perfect Sleeper, and more.
Yes, but...
And through Monday, get an extra $248 credit just for shopping local.
Well, that's great, but I just have one question.
What's that?
Where the heck is everybody?
Open 9 to 9. Find an honest-to-goodness employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com. Hasselus, employee-free since 2014.
More trivia for you next week. It's Wednesday, December 18th. WTMJ's Trivia Showdown presented by Quizmaster Trivia in support of Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive. The toys are coming in. The donations are coming in. That is great. That is a big stand up and applause for you. Well done. Thanks for helping us out with the initiative. Broken Bat Brewery is where you need to go next week. 7 o'clock. for trivia. If you can't make it, you can also help out by making a donation. Text the word CAPGO to the WTMJ talk and text line 855-616-1620. But why not have some fun? Bring an unused and unwrapped toy, some of your friends down to Broken Bat on Wednesday of next week, December 18th. CAPGO, Kids to Kids Toy Drive. Trivia begins at 7 o'clock.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Elmbrook Family Dental, a great dental team from right here in Wisconsin. Dr. Eric is great. He's born and raised in Elm Grove, and he's the expert when it comes to cosmetic work with Invisalign. Dr. Eric's used Invisalign himself. He knows that would help him treat patients. He can help walk you through the process. The website is elmbrookfamilydental.com. 3 locations, 2 in Brookfield and a brand new spot in Wauwatosa. That's elmbrookfamilydental.com.
Have you ever flown a drone?
I've never flown one, but I have been the spotter for one.
Okay.
Because there are rules about this.
Well, there are rules. So my history with drones goes back, 15, 20 years. I got one as a gift. It's about the size of a small pizza box, and then it ended up on the roof of some business. Right?
That it was gone.
Right. I tried to fly it at a driving range in an early winter, and it ended up on the roof. So that's my experience with drones. These are not the kind of drones that are hovering over New Jersey in clusters. You're talking about some the size of small vehicles and flying in clusters, and nobody seems to have a great idea for what is going on. John Cohen is a former counterterrorism coordinator for the Department of Homeland Security, joining us on the line right now. John, how can you distinguish what's a credible threat and what is not when you can't articulate exactly what's happening in the skies over New Jersey?
Right. You've hit the nail right on the head. I think if you take a step back and let's look at the situation. So in this case, the public did exactly what we've been asking them to do since 9/11. People saw something that was suspicious. It caused concern. In some cases, they videotaped it. They reported it to local authorities. In this case, however, federal authorities were very slow in responding to those reports. So information, often some of it inaccurate information, started to spread online, and this issue became, for lack of a better word, viral. What we heard last night from the Department of Homeland Security and FBI is that they've had an opportunity to investigate many of these reports, and in fact, a significant subset of them were not drones. They were actually manned airplanes that were operating in a lawful manner. So while they're still continuing to investigate these reports, it seems that thus far part of their the underlying information that supports their message of no threat here is based on the fact that they have been able to now look at some of these videos and determine that a significant subset of them are actually not threat related. The problem is that we do not have a national unified capability that allows us to detect this threat-related usage of drones and to take steps to mitigate the potential threat to the public safety.
There is not one U.S. agency that is responsible for drones of any kind. So this kind of seems like something may need to change there. John, I know part of your portfolio, you worked with the Department of Homeland Security, and you actually were overseeing the office that handled drones. What was your experience there?
Yeah, it's really interesting to me. If we were having this discussion when I was back at DHS and you were to ask me, so John, who's responsible for handling threat-related activity relating to drones in the U.S., my answer would be, well, it depends. The FAA regulates U.S. airspace, so they have a role. Secret Service is responsible for threat-related drone activity in and around the White House and any place where, say, the president or other protectee is located. TSA is responsible for drones that may be impeding planes flying in and out of an airport. And in all those other areas of the country that don't fall in those categories, it could be local authorities, it could be a federal government organization. If it's at the border, it could be CBP, Customs and Border Protection, or it could be the military. But there is no unified plan that provides what we call air domain awareness, which tells us which allows us to detect threat-related drone activity. And more importantly, there's no unified plan on how we will deal with a drone that we know to be a threat to public safety or a security threat. And that just needs to change.
Now, John, these are only becoming more sophisticated aircraft, right? The size, the scale, the scope, everything that they can do. Is it important for the United States to look at this more carefully and have something a little bit more pieced together so it's not sort of, well, this group handles this and this group handles that?
The short answer to your question is absolutely yes. There needs to be a comprehensive plan and more importantly, an operational capability. We're just way too slow in responding to how the Internet is being used to facilitate this type of activity.
Are you concerned that somebody out there, John Paul down the road, might take this into his own hands and say, you know what, okay, they said a significant number of these are aircraft or helicopters, but we don't know what all of these are yet. I'm going to shoot one of these down and find out myself.
You read my mind. That was one of the first things I thought about, particularly when we're seeing elected officials on TV calling for these drones to be shot down. One of the dynamics of the threat environment that's caused law enforcement great concern over the last decade is that people will view content online and respond to it, sometimes using violent or destructive activity. When I started seeing these reports and the lack of sort of clarifying information being put out there, my concern was, particularly when we started hearing statements that they should be shot down, that someone would take action into their own hands and would see drones brought down. And in the most benign sense, that could result in the destruction of somebody else's property who is operating the drone legally. In the worst sense, that drone could come down, particularly a larger one, and cause damage or injury.
John Cohen's a former counterterrorism coordinator for the Department of Homeland Security, joining us here on Wisconsin's Midday News. Appreciate the insight, John. Interesting stuff. Thank you.
Great to be with you. Talk to you soon.
Yep, sounds good. Appreciate it, John. We'll check in with Brendan Johnson, TMJ4 meteorologist, coming up on the other side. We're living in the cold here, but we're warming up, and we'll be even warmer here on the weekend with a lot of rain. Brendan joins us after this.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, J&J Contractors. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Hey, WTMJ's Greg Matzik here. It's Flanner's Home Entertainment. Yes, it's crunch time here, right? Starting to get down to the wire before the holiday season. Check in with Flanner's and they will help you out with your technological upgrade. So what is it you're looking for here? Bigger TV, bigger screen, better resolution, picture, sound, all that. You can find it at Flanner's. Stop by West Dallas Showroom, Grafton Showroom, or online anytime at Flanner's.com. It is Flanner's Home Entertainment, locally known in the area. They've been doing it right for decades. They got the big stuff. They even have the smaller things like Bluetooth speakers. They've got the right cables for your home setup. Yeah, those things kind of flame out after a once in a while. So you go with Flanner's and they'll get you back on track. They even have trade-in opportunities for you. If you've got some old equipment, bring it to Flanner's. Have them take it on trade for you. Furniture, you bet, right there in the showroom for you. It's sound advice at the best price, one-stop shopping at Flanner's. Just press play.
It's Blaine's Farm and Fleet's Christmas sale, and we're spreading holiday cheer with unbeatable deals on festive favorites and unique gifts for all the originals on your list. Like assorted Christmas candy and gift sets, 25% off. For the home chef, Continental Pro Series pizza ovens, $34.99. For those who want comfort and style, all men's work and sport apparel, 30% off. Plus, now through Saturday, Blaine's Rewards members get a free $10 Farm and Fleet gift card for every $100 purchase. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Time for a weather check with TMJ4 meteorologist Brendan Johnson, who is not in Kauai with his colleague and teammate, Tyler Moore. Seems like he's having a nice time. I'm guessing his weather's a little different than what we've got going on here, but quite the array and range of temperatures here. Brendan.
Oh my gosh, guys. I mean, if you factor the wind chill here, I mean, over a 48-hour span, we're taking like a 70, 80-degree swing in either direction. So talk about a Wisconsin wacky winter. And I was talking to Mike Ryan, one of our editors in the hallway here at TMJ4, and he said, you know what, yesterday, we're used to it, but this hit different. This was bad, like a bad cold. And I said to him, well, Mike, it's like it all happened at once and it happened so early. So we didn't have all of December and early January to kind of get accustomed. It just, boom, hit you like a ton of bricks. And I think that's why yesterday seemed particularly painful.
It was brutal, but at least it was quick. Yeah. And the nice thing is that the worst of the Arctic blast is over. So as we warm up here, what can we expect this weekend?
Yeah, so we're warming up nicely into the 40s here for Saturday, Sunday. We're still in the teens and 20s this afternoon, but as high pressure moves east, those winds turn out of the south, and that's what's going to bring up the temperatures over the next 48 hours. So it's actually going to get warmer, strangely, during the overnight, and we'll probably be above freezing by daybreak tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon, early evening is going to be a bit interesting, and it could get dicey for a bit. We're expecting scattered showers and maybe even a little bit of a wintry mix to sneak in late afternoon, probably as early as 3 or 4 o'clock in southern Wisconsin. Most of us dealing with the rain certainly by 7 or 8 o'clock in the evening. The problem is not the precip. I'm not worried about the rain or even that little bit of wintry mix. I'm worried about the pavement temperatures. This cold blast really took down the ground temperatures significantly, and those pavement temps tend to lag. So as that rain begins, guys, there's a chance that we could develop a light glaze of ice initially on untreated roadways, sidewalks. So it could get a little slick and slippery for a few hours tomorrow evening as that rain starts up. But eventually the temperatures will start warming that pavement up overnight. And we're still looking at low 40s heading into Sunday, and we'll wrap that rain up by the first hours of the morning on Sunday.
So gotta be careful tomorrow night. But other than that, we're warming up. Things are looking good. Awesome. Brendan Johnson, cheers to the weekend. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Take care. Enjoy.
You too. 11:29 news is next.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time Accunet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick Accunet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Staggering inflation continues to affect so many families. Yet the Mine Shaft restaurant in Hartford is more affordable than ever. It's a holiday Fish Fry Friday. It's all you can eat and just $7.99. Do not pay $16 or more. Your Mine Shaft Fish Fry is $7.99. The Mine Shaft is decorated with holiday lights, decorations, and Christmas characters. Your kids will love it, and the world-class game room. After a long week, relax with a cold brew, a delicious old-fashioned or glass of wine for a perfect fish fry. Desserts are buy one, get one free. Your Saturday steak dinner is under $20. The all-you-can-eat Sunday brunch under $18. The Mine Shaft is in festive downtown Hartford with lots of seating. The low prices and holiday decorations will make you happy. They urge you to visit the Mine Shaft today for the all-you-can-eat fish fry, just $7.99. Serving from 11 a.m. Arrive early. MineShaftRestaurant.com.
It's 11:31. I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, December 13th. Your top story, a deadly shooting on Milwaukee's northwest side.
I'm Jessica Ty. How would you like to live in a church?
Increasing clouds, not quite as cold today, a high of 26. Rising temperatures means our low tonight will be the same as our high. 26 degrees. Saturday, mostly cloudy. Rain expected to move in later on, and a high of 40 degrees. 16 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:32. From the WTMJ breaking newsroom, a teenager is dead in a double shooting. 2 teens were shot just before 9 o'clock Thursday evening near 60th and Carmen. A 15-year-old died at the scene and a 16-year-old suffered minor injuries. Milwaukee police are seeking unknown suspects.
A former public defender in Milwaukee charged in a prostitution ring investigation faces additional accusations.
Travis Schwantes was charged last month with 2 misdemeanors related to prostitution for having sexual relationships with several current and past clients. Further investigation now suggests he had sexual relationships with at least 3 other women he's represented. Several of the women identified themselves as past victims of human trafficking or sexual assaults, and all of them knew Schwantes worked as an attorney. So far, Schwantes has not been charged with additional counts. He's due in court next week with 5 other men in connection with the prostitution ring. Jessica Gatso, WTMJ News.
In Milwaukee,
this is a political case. This has nothing to do with the law.
Adds former Trump attorney Jim Trupis after fellow attorney Kenneth Chesborough and Election Day operations director Mike Roman made their first appearances in court on Thursday. Each man charged with 11 felony forgery counts in Wisconsin's fake elector scheme. Again, attorney Jim Trupis.
On this very day, 4 years ago, we publicly announced in advance that we had recommended an alternate slate of electors to meet in order to preserve President Trump's constitutional rights of appeal.
Trupis, Chesborough, and then Vice President Mike Pence are due back in court in January.
Turning a church into affordable housing. St. John's Lutheran Church in Madison, known for being one of Wisconsin's oldest churches, is tearing down its property. The pastor tells WTMJ about the new plans.
Our city and county have been amazing to work with. They've been incredibly supportive of this project. Same with our alder and the local politicians have been really supportive because they see this as a need. You know, we need housing in urban, walkable areas, and the congregation is willing to do it.
The church is looking for $3 million to help build that new housing complex.
And some breaking news from Major League Baseball's winter meetings. Baseball insider Jeff Passan reporting the Brewers are finalizing a trade that'll send All-Star closer Devin Williams to the New York Yankees. A 2-time All-Star and 2-time National League reliever of the year, Williams amassed 62 saves for the Brewers and a career ERA of 1.91 over 6 seasons in Milwaukee. It's unclear what will come back from the Yankees to Milwaukee as part of the deal.
More sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sounding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 11:34.
Take the stress out of the holiday season with the Milwaukee Bucks. Get all your shopping done with Bucks Deal Season offers, featuring great gifts and limited time packages that even Scrooge will love. Score deals for everyone on your list, including yourself, from the Milwaukee Bucks and Pfizer Forum. 'Tis the season for cheer with your favorite deer. After all, there's no place like Pfizer Forum for the holidays. Shop the offers today at bucks.com/deal season.
Every day, Wisconsin's 600,000 family caregivers help their loved ones to continue living safely in their own homes. It's not easy. Each year, they spend an average of $7,000 out of their own pockets to provide this care. Wisconsin needs family caregivers, and they need more support. Tell your state lawmakers, Wisconsin family caregivers need a caregiver tax credit in 2025. Learn more at aarp.org/WI. That's aarp.org/WI. Paid for by AARP Wisconsin.
I love the Fox and Hounds Supper Club, especially the Friday fish fry. And all other dinners are buy one, get one free. I love that. WTMJ's John Mercure here. The Fox and Hounds is one of the most gorgeous and affordable supper clubs to visit during the holiday season. Order anything on the menu, including steak and lobster, and your second dinner is free. Desserts, and I love that chocolate cake, are also buy one, get one free. Sip on a delicious old-fashioned, Manhattan, bourbon, 100 wines. They've got Guinness on tap. The Fox and Hounds has been transformed into a winter wonderland with thousands of lights, decorations, and Christmas characters inside and out. It is spectacular. You'll feel the warmth of those 7 real wood-burning fireplaces right away. Saturday night, buy one prime rib dinner, get one free, and the Sunday brunch is magnificent. Kids and grandkids under 3 always eat for free. The Fox and Hounds off Highway 167, 2 miles east of Holy Hill. The drive is beautiful. Escape from your kitchen this weekend with a free dinner. Reserve at foxandhoundsrestaurant.com.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Some breaking news here. Jeff Passan, MLB insider for ESPN, is reporting the New York Yankees are finalizing a trade to acquire closer Devin Williams from the Milwaukee Brewers. Left-handed starter Nestor Cortez and second baseman Caleb Durbin, part of the package heading back to Milwaukee. Williams, over the course of 6 seasons with the Brewers, a 2-time All-Star and 2-time National League reliever of the year. Meanwhile, the Packers are a healthy team heading into Sunday's matchup against the Seattle Seahawks. It's a road game for the Packers. Just one player, Javon Bullard, unable to practice this week.
Everybody, relatively healthy, and to be able to have, our top guys out there will be huge for us.
Packers quarterback Jordan Love, he'll make his first career start in Seattle on Sunday night. And in volleyball, Marquette takes on top seed Penn State in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament this afternoon at 2:30. Wisconsin Badgers take on Texas A&M this evening. Hear that match right here on WTMJ with coverage beginning at 5:30.
Let's go ahead right now and get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Jensen & Sons paving time saver traffic. The disabled vehicle that I was telling you about before that was causing some issues has cleared, but we are now seeing slowing on 94 West, little bit past Potawatomi Casino Hotel in Milwaukee, and then it's really tight right there as you approach American Family Field. It gets a little bit better, but it's kind of interesting because a disabled vehicle is no longer on that ramp, but we are seeing slowing. You know that spot, though? That's a spot where traffic just tends to slow down around that curve, so we are seeing a bit of a backup right now.
High of 28 degrees today. It's going to be cloudy. That's also our overnight low, 28 degrees. That's because we warm up on Saturday. Mostly cloudy, rain moving in late, a high of 40. Chance of rain on Sunday, a high of 43, up to 48 with rain likely on Monday. It is 16 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 11:38. Well, get to Monday of next week and ask anybody how their weekend went. You might hear somebody, Jessica, say, well, I graduated. Here we go. The world is ahead of me. And that in itself is an incredible accomplishment. You might even run into somebody, though it'd be few and far between, who said, oh, I delivered the commencement address at such and such university.
Sure.
I think it'd be hard-pressed to find anybody in the country who is going to deliver 2 commencement addresses and graduate in the same weekend.
Ding, 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 ding. We've got one.
It's Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley joining us on the line. Hi, David.
Hey, how's it going, Greg and Jessica?
This is amazing, right? David, you are graduating, which is amazing, and you're giving 2 commencement addresses, one for Milwaukee and one for MATC?
Yes, I am, and it's an exciting opportunity. So Saturday we'll be doing the commencement speech for Milwaukee Area Technical College, and then Sunday we'll be doing the commencement speech at my own graduation at the UW Panther Arena. So really excited about this opportunity and glad to be doing it.
I have so many questions, but first, what is your message going to be to the students? And when it comes to this particular commencement speech, your peers?
Really speaking to the resilience of this particular class of 2024, graduating college. And, I think people may have forgotten that this is the class that actually entered higher education at the onset of the pandemic. And so when we think about many of these students, the faculty, the teachers who have been here or started during that time, they have a different level of resilience of being able to overcome the many challenges that we've seen due to the pandemic because we shut everything down. And so I want all of our students and their families to understand that resiliency is a part of their strength. And because we are getting our higher education, getting that degree, getting that diploma, we do have a responsibility in encouraging the next generation of leaders while also making sure that we're giving back to our entire community. And so let's make sure that we not only enjoy this day, but understand that this degree, these diplomas come with a level of responsibility of giving back to the entire community.
So, David, do you have to have 2 speeches prepared? Or is it similar in nature? How do you do this? What if somebody's at one and then attends the other the very next day?
No, these are not going to be the same speeches. Similar of messages related to the resilience and giving back and enjoying this moment. But for my particular commencement speech, it will be a little bit more personable, sharing a little bit more about my story and my journey coming back as a non-traditional student 20 years after graduating. And so I want, my classmates, my peers at UWM to see a little bit more into me because I am one of them. But I also want them to understand that just because I'm the county executive, I'm not above them, but I'm on the same plane as them, and that they have the opportunity to do great things moving forward. But these will not be the same speech.
Can you take us back to David Crowley at 19 years old? What were you like, and why did you drop out then?
A great question. So I was a kid who wanted to do community work, right? And so worked for different nonprofits around that time. Was in college, and quite frankly, what made me drop out of college was that I had life events going on, and so full transparency, what happened was that I was told I was having a baby, and so I dropped out and I got into the electrical apprenticeship. And during that time, after a few months of doing the electrical apprenticeship, I found out that that baby was not mine, and so which is a devastating situation for myself during then. But that's when I had a moment to reflect and think about what did I want to do next. And so I left the apprenticeship and got back to doing community work, and that's how I kind of got involved in politics years after. But I knew that coming back was ultimately my ultimate destiny. You know, my mother, while she was here on earth, continuously talked to me about going back to school. And so as county executive, learning that I was the third county executive not to have a college degree, that definitely lit a fire under my butt.
So when did it start, David, for you, sort of the rebirth of your journey through higher education while parallel pathing as a county executive?
So I started this process maybe about 6 or 7 semesters ago. And, I have mentors that I was talking to and, just talking to them about, the job, how things were going. And they were asking about, what was next for me, my future. And I consistently talked about the fact of needing to get my college degree. And so I made the decision to make that call to UW-Milwaukee. I talked to an advisor to figure out, one, where was I in the process of actually graduating? What year am I? Am I a freshman? Am I a sophomore? Am I a junior?
Yeah.
And the first thing that I learned was that, like many freshmen, I took a lot of classes that didn't mean diddly squat, that wouldn't have actually contributed to my major. And so that advisor here at UW-Milwaukee really helped me create a plan to graduate. And so 6 semesters ago, I decided to go. The first 2-3 semesters, I was only part-time, taking about 9 credits at a time. And, I was getting A's and B's, and that's because I was putting in that time, making sure to literally carve out time strictly for homework, after 9 p.m., after I put my girls to sleep. And once I got into the groove of being in school, built up my confidence in being a student, I decided to go full time. And so for the past 3 semesters, I've taken anywhere between 12 to 15 credits to speed this along. And I will tell you, the biggest challenge of all this was the discipline to do my homework, but also, time management. How am I going to utilize my time throughout the week as well as on weekends to get my homework done while I still have the responsibility of being a husband, a father, and a county executive.
So that gives us a little glimpse into what it was like going back in your mid to late 30s. You're now a husband, a dad, Milwaukee County executive. But what was it like when you're actually sitting in that seat and you have all these other younger classmates around you? Did any of the students, and maybe even professors too, I'm kind of curious, did they know that you're the Milwaukee County executive?
I've only had maybe about 4 to 5 in-person classes. And one of the classes that I had to take, interesting enough, was public speaking. It's a requirement here at UW-Milwaukee.
Nice.
And I remember we're getting our first assignment, and I decided I'm going to be the first one to go up there, do my speech, and I'm going to sit down. And I did that, and all the students looked at the TA and said, "Is this what we're supposed to do? Is this how we're supposed to sound?" And I don't even believe the teacher knew who I was, but ironically, one of my classmates is the niece of our parks director, Guy Smith. Oh. And she said, "Oh, no, he's the county executive." And when she told the class that, the next question was, "What's a county executive?" And so it created an opportunity to actually educate people, one, on what county government does, but also that there are normal people who hold these positions.
Well, it's inspirational, David, right? I mean, to hear that you were taking 12 to 15 credits recently, like in the last year and a half, at election year. I mean, your plate is full as it is, revitalizing not only the city, but Milwaukee County in general, dealing with challenges, just everything that goes into your role. To try and balance that along with being a father and 12 to 15 credits as a full-time student, that is remarkable. That is a lesson in time management.
It absolutely was a lesson in time management, but it's also a lesson, not just to myself, but I want to say to the entire community that we can do anything that we decide to put our mind to. I want folks to understand out in the community that you're never too old. It doesn't matter what zip code you grew up in or where you're from. As long as you have access, we need to take advantage of these opportunities, and an education can help us go further, and especially when it comes down to breaking the glass ceiling that may be over our heads. Okay, let's keep it real. How did you do? What grades did you get? Did you get any party invites? I have not. Actually, I have not gotten any party invites.
That's disappointing.
But I'm going to throw my own graduation party. That's definitely for sure. But I can say that, I've met new friends, and I think that there are individuals who are attending UWM who will be looking to possibly stay here instead of leaving to go somewhere else when it comes down to employment, but also entering into the government workspace, right? Being able to give back and things of that nature. So it's been an incredible, incredible experience. Okay, Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley, you only answered the second question there. The first one, the grades. What grades did you get? Oh, my grades. Oh, I'm happy about my grades because since being back, I have not received less than a C in any class. Less than a C? That's a really unique way to answer that question. Yes. Well, because I don't even think I have a C. I've received a C. I'm just trying to make sure that in case I get a C this semester, I'm not lying to you all. I love that. I knew there was some thinking behind that process. So we're thinking mostly A's and B's, but just in case. Lots of A's and B's. Yeah, just in case. We love to hear it. Well, you got a very busy job and you got a very busy weekend ahead. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley will deliver the commencement address speech at MATC on Saturday and Wisconsin-Milwaukee on Sunday, along with receiving his own diploma. Pretty amazing story, David. Thank you so much for joining us today. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Greg and Jessica. I always appreciate you, too.
Yep, you as well. David Crowley joining us, Milwaukee County Executive. Coming up next, the Week in Review on Wisconsin's Midday News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? They're yours, and Progressive protects them both. Bundle today at Progressive.com.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Richlands. It's a bully that will not let up until you do something about it. And the worst part is that the bullying happens when you're at your most vulnerable. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back while that bully puts one hand over your mouth and pinches your nose with the other. He'll let up, let you catch your breath, and then he'll do it again. Sleep apnea is a bully. Not long ago, we heard our friend John tell you about how his bully was stopping his breathing in his sleep over 145 times an hour. Think about what that can do to your body's organs. It's no wonder that the snowball effects of long-term obstructive sleep apnea are heart disease, stroke, even depression and anxiety. But this problem is solvable, and we have solutions, and you'll be surprised at how simple they are.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. It's time to put that bully in his place. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Well, it's about lunchtime, isn't it? Time for a pizza. How about that? Wouldn't that sound good? We got a pizza oven here, thankfully, and we've got Palermo's in the freezer, in one of our freezers. That's right. That's going to be lunch today. Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza. If you can't make it a lunch option for yourself today, why not make it a dinner option? It's a great option. Palermo's, Connie's, Urban Pie, Screamin' Sicilian. There's a Primo Thin with my name on it upstairs. In fact, I saw it, wrote my initials on it earlier today. Who wants a piece? Palermo's is Wisconsin's hometown pizza, celebrating 60 years of making the best frozen pizzas you are going to find. Celebrate local, support a local company. They do great things all year long, especially near the holidays. It's Palermo's. Find them at Festival Foods, Pick and Save, Sendik's, Piggly Wiggly, and Woodman's. Celebrate local, eat great. It's Palermo's, Wisconsin's hometown pizza.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal. To do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry. Semper Fi!
The season of giving continues. Join WTMJ's Steve Scafidi and our WTMJ Street Team on Thursday, December 19th from noon to 2 p.m. at Century Foods in Delafield.
To participate in Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive, bring a new unwrapped gift to donate. Monetary donations are also accepted.
So stop by and say hello to Steve Scafidi and the WTMJ Street Team at the Century Foods in Delafield on Thursday, December 19th.
It's the Capco Kids to Kids Toy Drive here on WTMJ.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Still rushing to finish your holiday shopping? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Earrings, bracelets, pendants, and more. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. But don't wait. This is your final opportunity to find the perfect gift at the best value before the holidays. Plus special designer appearances. Visit us during extended holiday hours or shop online and pick up in store. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
A local missing man found, a shooter apprehended, and the standouts of the year. The Week in Review, brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
What we do here is go back.
After spending 4 seasons with the Brewers, shortstop Willie Adames and the Giants agree to terms on a 7-year, $182 million contract.
The Brewers, this is how they operate. They don't shell out big contracts like this. The other half is like, well, why can't we keep this guy?
And Adames strikes out.
Nobody hurt after a fire at a Brookfield restaurant, Uncle Julio's restaurant on Moreland.
There's some smoke showing from the roof of the building.
Hackham's top executive, Willie Hines, says his retirement is unrelated to scrutiny of the Housing Authority over the last year.
What I'm doing is really planning for my future.
Associate organizer for the group Common Ground, Kevin Solomon, disagrees.
We did it.
The Santa Rampage is the one day a year in Milwaukee where holiday spirit is spread by pedals and spoked wheels.
We've got Santa.
Oh my God!
We've got Buddy the Elf. We've got Krampus.
Or I think proper pronunciation is Krampus.
The spirit of cycling in Milwaukee is alive.
Hang on, little buddy. Sergeant Joseph Fazio was driving Wednesday night when he spotted 2-year-old Tato the Corgi lying in the road. That's when the sergeant stepped into action.
Found him. He got hit up in Racine County.
They couldn't understand why nobody had stopped or called it in already.
New York Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch says they've been able to tie suspect Luigi Mangione to the Midtown Manhattan crime scene.
Hey, Luigi!
Oh my God! That's completely out of touch. And the insult to the intelligence of the American people and lived experience.
Mamma mia!
Finally met.
I thought we met a long time ago. At least I saw you.
Right.
How you doing?
When you fell down for him. I'm going to get my sack back.
Why would the former record holder for most sacks in a season start a fight with Brett Favre?
You can understand why guys are frustrated, and you just hope that at some point you kind of move forward.
I'm going to get my sack back.
McDreamy Matzik.
There we go.
Yeah.
If I had a dime for every time someone... No.
I get it now. The whole, McDreamy thing. I didn't get it before, but now I get it.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Room.
On December 10th, Ryan arrived
on U.S. soil. He was then booked into the correctional facility. He's cooperated with us, got on an airplane.
Live from the Green Lake County Sheriff Mark Poto there, where he announced the return of Ryan Borkwart. This is the man who faked his own death, the kayaker from August.
David Crowley, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Now, you had some big news.
Yeah, I'm a part of the 2024 graduating class. I can definitely and honestly tell you that it's been kicking my butt.
Commencement. The end of one thing, the start of something new.
The Soties.
Who better than a 65-year-old bench coach named Pat Murphy?
You mean my old ass? Is that what you're saying?
Peggy Williams-Smith.
I'm sweating a little, and I was really cold coming in.
Universities of Wisconsin President Jay Rothman.
Jay, how badly do you want to not talk about Joe Gow this morning?
That would be fine because we're looking toward the future.
Sexy, healthy cooking.
Milwaukee chef Dan Jacobs.
Being on Top Chef has always been a dream of mine. I believe I tried out 13 times, and you guys finally decided that this was the one.
The Milwaukee Bucks are one of the final four standing. They advance to the semifinals in Las Vegas.
Let's get it. Viva Las Vegas.
President Joe Biden has commuted the sentences of some 1,500 people.
The president has issued more sentence commutations at this point in his presidency than any of his recent predecessors.
But I'm not done yet.
President-elect says he is going to issue pardons for January 6th rioters on his first day in office.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize that there is a right way and a wrong way to blow your nose.
Oh, yeah, I go for volume. Yeah, just I got a major league honk.
What a week, eh?
What a week. I'm going to get my sack back. Viva.
Ladies and gentlemen, the weekend.
Oh, always great work in the Week in Review, and it's brought to you by Outdoor Living Unlimited.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Is outdoor living limited at your place? Well, imagine a deck, a patio, pergola, fire pit, maybe even an outdoor kitchen in your yard. Outdoor Living Unlimited is a local, family-owned company that consults, designs, and builds these things. And they're the best. Let them make Outdoor Living Unlimited in your yard like they did in ours. We are Wisconsin. We live outdoors as much as possible. Make the most of it with help from Outdoor Living Unlimited. See OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Numbness, tingling in the hands, arms, legs, feet. Time to go see Dr. Alex Young and my team at Connect Chiropractic. Regular chiropractic care can bring life-changing results for folks who suffer from neuropathy and fibromyalgia, nervous system issues that can be corrected, and no worries about twisting, cracking, or popping. The docs at Connect Chiro use all the same method, a special tool that is pain-free and effective for your adjustments. Visit them in Delafield and Wauwatosa or get started online at GoConnectChiro.com.
Thanks, Finney. Helping people and families seriously injured in accidents and standing up for victims to take the burden off their shoulders. Greg Matzik here for Gruber Law Offices. You've heard David say it before, right? One call, that's all. It's really what it's all about at Gruber. Make the call to them if you've been hurt in an accident. Let them focus on the legal aspect while you focus on healing. That's what you need to be doing if you've been hurt. Gruber gets results that speak for themselves. Locally known, nationally recognized, they got a powerful team. They'll handle the insurance companies for you. Been serving the people in the state for 40 years and giving back to the community, and it's what they do every day at Gruber. No fee, no cost to call, no cost to consult or retain their firm. In fact, never a fee until Gruber wins your case. It's what they do. Visit gruber-law.com or make a call to 414-276-6666.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Protect mom's assets, protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News. It's Friday, December 13th. Your top story is assault charges for a Milwaukee firefighter.
I'm Jessica Ty. The former House Speaker hospitalized.
High of 28 today, low of 28 tonight. Saturday, mostly cloudy and mild. Rain moves in later on, a high of 40 degrees. 16 degrees and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:02. A Milwaukee firefighter charged for beating a man with a baseball bat. Ty Dwight Jackson faces one count of first-degree reckless injury as party to a crime. The firefighter and his brother said a man entered their home uninvited last week. The criminal complaint states the two men used the bat to beat up the man and stomped on his head multiple times. Police arrested Dwight Jackson last Friday. He could face up to 25 years in prison if convicted.
Former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has been hospitalized in Europe. ABC's Stephen Portnoy.
The 84-year-old former House Speaker was with several other members of Congress in Luxembourg marking the 80th anniversary of the Battle of the Bulge when her office says she sustained an injury. What that injury was is not clear, but it resulted in Pelosi being taken to the hospital for evaluation. Aides say she's receiving excellent treatment from doctors, but will have to skip the rest of the events around the anniversary of the battle.
Pelosi's injury comes days after longtime Senate GOP leader Mitch McConnell tripped and fell at the U.S. Capitol. He sprained his wrist and cut his face.
Milwaukee Public Schools still need school resource officers in the halls, but how exactly should MPS use them? Milwaukee County Executive Director David Crowley tells WTMJ, although he supports the SROs,
I don't think that you necessarily need SROs placed inside the school all the time. And the reason why I say that is that there's still things happening in those neighborhoods. And so if there's a possibility for us to have police officers in those neighborhoods, but was dedicated to school calls, I think that makes a world of difference.
Maybe a hybrid model of an SRO.
Absolutely.
The state law requires at least 25 SROs be reinstated across MPS.
There's a recall of a commonly prescribed antidepressant because of a chemical linked to cancer.
The FDA announcing a recall of over 233,000 bottles of Duloxetine, an antidepressant used to treat anxiety and depression. Patients may also know the medication by the brand names Cymbalta, Drizalma, and Irinca. The capsules distributed by Rising Pharmaceuticals contain impurities that may increase cancer risk over time. The recall, classified as Class 2, marks the FDA's second most severe risk level. Patients are urged to stop taking the medication and seek guidance from their healthcare providers. Dave Packer, ABC News.
Time for news about your money. The WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The Dow currently down about 85 points at 43,828. NASDAQ is off about 45 at 19,858. S&P 500 down about 10 at 6,040. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. It's financial planning at every level. For details, visit annexwealth.com.
Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sonny Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:05.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend.
Welcome to the fantastic voyage. Marcus Johnson, the captain of this vessel.
Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production.
My first mate, Chris Johnson, the only father and son tandem.
Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week on the pod, Marcus and Chris are joined by basketball royalty J.A. Adonde. Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
Every day, Wisconsin's 600,000 family caregivers help their loved ones to continue living safely in their own homes. It's not easy. Each year, they spend an average of $7,000 out of their own pockets to provide this care. Wisconsin needs family caregivers, and they need more support. Tell your state lawmakers, Wisconsin family caregivers need a caregiver tax credit in 2025. Learn more at aarp.org/WI. That's aarp.org/WI. Paid for by AARP Wisconsin.
Easttown Jewelers in Mequon is closing its doors after 40 years. Savings up to 70% on everything. They have a great selection of diamond rings and earrings, pendants, gold and silver jewelry, colored gemstone rings, and Mary's custom designs, and much more. Looking to get the perfect gift for someone special this holiday season? You've got to check them out. They also buy gold and you'll receive instant cash. Store hours are Tuesday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Doors will be closing December 28th, so don't delay. That's Easttown Jewelers in Mequon.
This is Jeff Johnson.
And I'm Jason Johnson.
And together we're part of Johnson & Sons Paving.
Get your parking lot ready now for spring and avoid paying for extra repairs later on.
We'll come out to your property and walk it with you.
Potholes, damaged asphalt, damaged concrete, standing water, you name it. We'll talk to you about your options and fix it.
Plan a budget, set up an overall schedule with Johnson & Sons Paving.
It's all about doing it right the first time. Call us today to schedule a walkthrough and free estimate.
JohnsonandSonsPaving.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Volkswagen. Visit hallvw.com.
Help fellow commuters. Report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line. 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Volkswagen during Volkswagen Sign Then Drive event.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Major League Baseball insider Jeff Passan reporting the Brewers are finalizing a trade that'll send All-Star closer Devin Williams to the New York Yankees. A two-time All-Star and two-time National League Reliever of the Year, Williams amassed 62 saves for the Brewers, a career ERA of 1.91 over 6 seasons. Left-handed starting pitcher Nestor Cortez and 24-year-old infield prospect Caleb Durbin, part of the package coming back to Milwaukee. And a big night of volleyball, women's volleyball, as Marquette continues its run in the NCAA tournament, taking on top overall seed Penn State later this afternoon at 2:30. Time for that match. Wisconsin Badgers will take on Texas A&M tonight, a match you can hear on WTMJ beginning at 5:30.
We've got a big update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. It is on 41. It's past West Bend. I'll let you know, there are actually two things going on right now, and because of that, it's closed. This is the most recent. It happened just minutes ago. 41 North, little bit beyond the ramp from County D. The right lane is closed due to a crash. It's I-41 North, right around County D. And then you also have I-41 South beyond the ramp from Wisconsin 28. Right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. But it looks like now there were significant backups, and it looks like it's happening right now that they're actually going to close this area, closing down I-41 North around County D because of a crash. As far as any cameras, they don't have any cameras right in that area, so I can't see, but I can tell you, looking at cameras that are just beyond that, I can see backups. I can also see what looks like emergency responders getting ready to get to that scene. So just a heads up, it's a mess right now.
Some pops of sun today. Clouds are going to roll in. A high of 28. Our overnight low is 28, and that's because we've got a high of 40 scheduled for Saturday, up to 43 on Sunday, 46 on Monday. Rain in the forecast all throughout the weekend and on Monday as well. Won't be till later in the evening, however, on Saturday. Not an all-day washout here, but mild temperatures for the weekend after the cold snap earlier this week. 17
Live
degrees.
from the Annex Wealth Management Studios in downtown Milwaukee, it's Wisconsin's Midday News, making stories come to life. Now, here are your hosts, Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty.
All right, you made it. Here we go, 12:10 on a Friday. Thanks to Brandon Stein for producing the program today. Greg and Jessica with you till 1 o'clock. We're on top of some big stories here as we hit the noon hour on a Friday.
It's now at noon on Wisconsin's Midday News.
A shocking development in a rape case that grabbed national attention. The woman who accused 3 Duke lacrosse players of rape back in 2006 now says she lied about it. CBS's Stacey Lynn has the update.
On the Let's Talk with Kat podcast, Crystal Mangum admitted she lied about the allegations.
I testified falsely against them by saying that they raped me when they didn't.
She wants the 3 men to know
they didn't deserve that, and I hope they can forgive me.
Mangum was never prosecuted for perjury, and because of the statute of limitations in North Carolina, she can no longer be prosecuted for lying under oath. She made the confession from the North Carolina Correctional Institution for Women, where she's serving time for second-degree murder. Stacey Lynn, CBS News.
Magnum said the rape happened at a party hosted by the lacrosse team where she was hired to work as a stripper. The charges forced the cancellation of the team's 2006 season and cost the coach his job. The former lead prosecutor ultimately resigned in disgrace, was disbarred, and briefly imprisoned for violating ethics standards. I mean, think about how many people this impacted. In April of 2007, the state's then Attorney General Roy Cooper reviewed the case and exonerated the 3 men. But wow, I mean, you have some women who do not come forward on real allegations of rape for fear people won't believe them. So a story like this, just infuriating.
Hey, if I remember right, the Duke lacrosse season came to an end. The coach got fired for a lack of control over his team. The players were never punished. I mean, they had their day in court. I mean, it was a big national story, no doubt. The sidebar to this that I didn't realize is that this woman is also being incarcerated for second-degree murder charges.
Right. That was another
murdering
moment.
her ex-boyfriend in 2013. I did not know that. Number 2, if a ZipRecruiter survey of U.S. hiring managers is accurate, 2025 will bring more hires and fewer layoffs.
The great resignation that came during the pandemic has given way to what economists are calling the Great Stay. The ZipRecruiter survey of 2,000 companies finds predictions of a sharp decline in turnover in the coming year, with credit going to improved salaries, benefits, and work-life balance. But a separate survey by Glassdoor finds that turnover rates might be falling because workers feel stuck in their current jobs. Jim Ryan, ABC News.
Key findings include a shift toward hybrid work models, and regarding compensation, 41% of employers increased base salaries for new hires in 2024. 79% are planning raises for 2025.
Viva Las Vegas. Greg, I thought you were supposed to sing with me.
Did you want me to? You've got the nice singing voice.
No, I don't.
Really.
And I wasn't sure if I was going to sing that or not, but there you go. The Milwaukee Bucks are one of 4 teams left standing in the NBA's in-season tournament. The Bucks face the Atlanta Hawks tomorrow afternoon in a semifinal matchup. They're trying to win the Emirates Cup. The Oklahoma City Thunder and Houston Rockets will take the floor in the other semifinal.
We have these 3 young teams. You know, Atlanta's young, Oklahoma's young, Houston's young, and then here comes the old Milwaukee Bucks wheeling in. That's what we're going to be. You know, we're going to just wheel in our wheelchairs and come in on our canes and see if we can just play some basketball. That's what we're going to do.
Nah, get out of here, Doc Rivers. I mean, we are not young, that's true, when it comes to basketball teams, but thank goodness we're not wheeling in our wheelchairs and our guys don't have canes.
Well, thankfully, it's a 3:30 tip, so plenty of time to get to that early dinner for the Bucks following the game tomorrow.
Go Bucks.
That should be fun. 12:14 on WTMJ. We continue after this.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
The time has come.
Yes, the time has come to do what you need to do.
You've put it off as long as you can, but the time has come to choose a Christmas gift for the woman you love.
It needs to be something that will fit perfectly.
Something she will wear constantly.
Something she will love.
Something you can buy today and take home today.
Because you ran out of time. Christmas is upon us.
It's time for you to buy a fabulous pair of diamond stud earrings.
A fabulous pair.
Kessler's has natural diamonds created in the heart of the earth.
And newborn diamonds created in the heart of a star.
And when you buy from Kessler's, you can always trade your Kessler's natural diamond studs in for a larger pair.
We have diamond studs for a few $100s.
And diamond studs for several $1,000s.
2-carat total weight natural diamond studs are just $5,998.
She's going to be extremely happy when she sees what you bought for her.
And that's a good thing.
A very, very good thing.
Find the Kessler's nearest you at Kessler'sDiamonds.com.
Test your trivia acumen Wednesday, December 18th at WTMJ's Trivia Showdown presented by Quizmaster Trivia. It's all in support of Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive. Join WTMJ's Kristen Bryce, Steve Scafidi, and Brian Noonan as they host the competition at Broken Bat Brewery at 7 o'clock. Can't make it? You can help Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive with a monetary donation. Text Capco to the WTMJ Talk and Text line. That's 855-616-1620 to donate. Grab an unused and unwrapped toy, and how about some of your favorite friends as well? Bring them along. It's WTMJ's Trivia Showdown presented by Quizmaster Trivia, all in support of Capco's Kids to Kids Toy Drive. That's this Wednesday, December 18th at Broken Bat Brewery.
This holiday season, the Salvation Army needs your help. Bell ringers are working hard, and our service depends on generous donations like yours. Every dollar donated helps us provide meals, shelter, and emergency support to families in crisis, not just at Christmas, but all year long. From immediate need to long-term care, your donation can create lasting change in our communities. Join us in making a difference. Volunteer as a bell ringer or donate today. Visit salvationarmywi.org to learn how you can help.
You better watch out. You better not cry. You better not pout. I'm telling you why. Santa Claus is coming. I mean the big fat man with the long white beard. He's coming to town.
A flight from Milwaukee to the North Pole takes off tomorrow. It's a rare opportunity for kids fighting cancer to enjoy a really happy holiday. More than 20 cities do this now, but the effort started right here in Milwaukee. One of the organizers, Laura Goldner, joins us live from Signature Aviation, where right now they're creating this magical journey for the kids. Thanks so much for joining us, Laura.
Well, thanks for having me.
So people have seen coverage of these flights in years past, and it really just tugs at the heartstrings. But most people don't realize this local connection to the start back in 1985. Who came up with this idea and why?
Some retired flight attendants from Eastern Airlines.
And why? What was their goal? Are they just sitting around all of a sudden and say, "Hey, we should do this"? What was the idea?
Well, I think they were all pretty busy, but as the story goes, from what I've been told from a lot of the different other volunteers that have been a part of it for years, is basically they were transporting kids back and forth in their aircraft to different cities, and they would see these children that were sick, and they wanted to do something to create a happy memory for the families, something fun, something that they would really enjoy and be able to remember for the rest of their lives.
So what will the person on the plane experience? What goes through? Take us through the life and a day of the person on the plane there.
Well, first what they'll do is they'll go to Mitchell Field and they'll go to the Delta ticket counter this year, and they'll get a ticket for the North Pole. Then they'll go through TSA, and they'll go to the boarding gate, and they will, at that point, Mrs. Claus will greet them and some elves, and they'll get a flight bag, and they'll get some homemade scarves and hats and mittens that were made from some other volunteers. They'll get on the aircraft, and they'll sing some Christmas songs. And, of course, the shades will come down because the exact location of the North Pole is a secret. And once they get to Signature, which is the North Pole, they'll come down the stairs, and Santa will greet them.
So
it's a short trip, but it's a magical trip.
Ah, it is. So there is so much joy and so many fun moments as you explain that. But this is tough, too. I mean, these are kids who are battling cancer. I can't imagine some of the really tough stories that you have witnessed over the years. In some cases, is this their last Christmas celebration as a family? Have you witnessed that?
I have, unfortunately, and we all know, all the volunteers, all the elves, all the characters, we all know that that's a distinct possibility, but we really hope that that's not the case. Sadly, it is. And it's a hard day for everybody, but it's a really good day because it takes about 3 minutes for them to get here. And there are so many wonderful things happening around them that they forget about what they're going through, if only for an afternoon.
So how are you
and
preparing?
And they just have fun, and they're just kids.
How are you preparing at the airport, Laura? How are you getting this ready to make it such a special day for everybody who's hopping aboard?
Well, we've got about 10 really hardworking volunteers here that are taking 9,000 square feet and taking basically today to turn it into the North Pole.
And this wouldn't happen without the community support.
No, absolutely not. I cannot tell you how incredibly generous the people in our community are, the organizations, other foundations, businesses that donate product and donate money and donate volunteers. Everybody really kind of comes together. And, we used to have to explain, to be an elf, and now they're like, no, we got it. And everybody is so happy to be a part of it that every year, when I think we just possibly cannot become more blessed in this community, the universe takes over, and I'm just blown away.
Well,
everybody is. It's incredible.
Thank you so much for your work and everybody else's too, because this wouldn't happen without a lot of community support, and it is such a great effort. Flight to the North Pole, taking off tomorrow from Milwaukee, all to really provide kids with childhood cancer and their families an awesome day, not to think about all the worries and all the stress that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. So we really appreciate it.
It's nothing but fun.
Thanks.
All fun.
Thanks so much. That's Laura Goldner with a Flight to the North Pole, which started here in Milwaukee back in 1985.
Yeah, Eastern Airlines. Boy, that is a blast from the past. You hear that name and wow. That's when Northwest, Eastern, there were so many different airlines that it no longer exist, but it gives you a sense of the history.
And so many people have covered this story. I know on the weekends I'll see the visuals and you just have tears in your eyes, and it's such a special moment. But then to find out the history behind it, that it started here in Milwaukee, is just awesome. And she was telling me on the phone too, it's so hard because in this case, they've already had one of the kids for this year who unfortunately is not going to be there tomorrow. And it's tough.
It's 12:23 on WTMJ.
Are you dreaming of updating the outside of your home? Add a project with J&J Contractors to your Christmas list this year. Family owned and operated since 1983, J&J Contractors specializes in roofing, windows, siding, and doors. Don't wait to start thinking about your exterior. Let them do the work on the outside now so you can enjoy it once spring is here. Schedule your free consultation today. Just Google J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. Want to get you down to Potawatomi Sportsbook to hang out and watch sports in a way that you've maybe never done before. It's the best place to watch sports in the state. Potawatomi Sportsbook, 2,000 square foot video wall ensures the game will be on. Games is probably a better way to put it. They've got all sorts of opportunities to divide that screen up for you. It's an incredible experience. Great food, great people as well at Potawatomi. And when you walk in, you'll see what I've been talking about here for about a year or so. The redesign, the reimagining of this space in downtown Milwaukee. All of Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee looks different. It's a cool vibe. It's a great place, and Potawatomi Sportsbook is the icing on the cake. Hope to see you there.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Part two of a two-part series here from Debbie Loziga, who takes a look at connected and automated vehicles. Today, checking out how the technology is progressing. How close are we really to actually having autonomous vehicles on the road?
Well, we're already seeing some of the automated technology. Like I'd mentioned before, you have the adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, and lane keep assistance, things like that. So in a way, the future is now. I spoke with the DOT's Strategic Initiatives Officer, Brad Baston, and he says even the connected technology is showing up.
Your car connects to your phone with Bluetooth, and you have Waze and Google Maps, and Google Maps is connecting your phone and finding where the traffic is. So you already have a version of that with connected vehicles.
And as for the driverless cars, well, that's another kettle of fish. You see, driverless vehicles are not legal in Wisconsin.
State law requires an operator to be behind the wheel and in physical control of the vehicle at all times.
Not only that, but at the moment, owning your own is pretty cost prohibitive.
They're pretty expensive, probably $250,000. So you can't buy one. If the question, if you want to buy one yourself personally, yeah, that's probably got to be 10 years away, I would have to guess.
But there are communities where they've been out and about.
California, San Francisco, Phoenix, I think Houston as well. There's a couple of companies that have been running driverless taxis tens of millions of miles in the last few years. They've had great results with safety without drivers in those cars.
Interesting and a little creepy. Anecdotally, I've chatted with my teammates around here, and a reoccurring theme keeps coming up. I don't think I trust a human not being in control, and I can't blame them. You might have seen some of the videos and TikToks of people riding in driverless taxis called Waymos out in California. Here's the general reaction.
I know. And then you just click start ride.
Hello, from Waymo. Get going. Just give us.
Oh my god. This is scary. This is what the future is, guys. I'm scared.
Well, there is another application, semi-trucking.
Later this winter, there's a corridor outside Houston, Texas, where 2 companies are going to deploy driverless semis that have been tested extensively. So that will be very interesting to watch. Again, they've been proven to be very safe, their track record so far, and the Texas DOT is monitoring that.
But how does interstate trucking work if in one state it's legal and in the next it isn't? Well, there may still be a benefit.
It's still effective in that if you were in a state that allowed a driverless truck, the operator could sleep. So he could catch up on some of that mandated time that he needs to sleep and then may have to drive through a certain state. So there's still benefits to it.
That being said, there are a ton of legal hurdles that need to be jumped before driverless semis become a thing. In the interest of that and all the other stakeholder industries that get touched by this type of technology, a sort of think tank has been assembled. Call it a cross-section of society, and they all have input on how this type of technology is going to be handled.
That group is a group of lawmakers, state and local and federal agency representatives, some academics, nonprofits, and industry professionals, and they provide input and advice to WSDOT on CAV priorities, policies, and the impacts that they see to the safe and efficient transportation system. We've tried to hit all the areas that this technology might affect so that we can learn how to deploy it safely and efficiently with this advice from these outside groups.
Sure, getting into your car and pushing a few buttons and relaxing sounds like a glorious advancement to travel. But it looks like it's going to be a while before the technology is in place, the laws to make it safe get enacted, and people finally start feeling comfortable enough to let it happen. Debbie Loziga, WTMJ News.
Little creepy, little interesting, but it's coming. It's definitely coming.
It is coming. So's the news. Up next.
Now, about your house. Eric Brown is the president of Siding Unlimited, your contractor for new windows, roofing, siding, decks, and a whole lot more. He knows about your house. So what do you know, Eric?
Siding is what pops on your home. Clean lines, beautiful accents, and wonderful colors can make your home really look amazing. Homeowners are always looking to add curb appeal when buying new siding, and a well-installed product from Siding Unlimited will definitely deliver a grand appeal. There is so much more to gain from replacing your siding other than the curb appeal you're already seeking. There is so much value in having new siding with low maintenance. Just an annual cleaning with the hose is all you really need to do. You can't get much lower maintenance than that. The process of replacing siding gives homeowners a fresh start, a new understanding knowing that we can peel back the old stuff and get a real in-depth inspection on the walls on your home and the structural integrity. How has the home performed over the past 20 years? We'll see it all when removing the old siding. There's a high percentage your home is missing the most important factor in siding a home, and that's a working water barrier. Many homes built in the 1990s and prior don't have a water barrier beneath the siding, and homes that were built in the 90s that do have one probably have a water barrier that was installed incorrectly. New siding replacement assures us that we install the water barrier correctly and protect the home moving forward. Our process always includes adding insulation board to the wall. This gives you a water barrier underlayment and additional R value, which is an energy coefficient, so warmer walls, adding more value to the project than the expected curb appeal. As the new siding goes back on, we know your home will be ready to manage water well into the future and look amazing doing so.
Eric and his crews at Siding Unlimited are your go-to contractor here for siding and also replacement windows, roofing, and decks. Take the next step. Check them out at sidingunlimited.com. Siding Unlimited, siding and a whole lot more.
I'm Greg Matzik. This is Wisconsin's Midday News for Friday, December 13th. Your top stories: stealing everything from merchandise to a car.
I'm Jessica Ty. Be smart around the holidays.
Increasing clouds today, a high of 28. That's our overnight low as temperatures rise tomorrow with a high of 40 degrees, with rain moving in later in the evening. 18 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:31 from the WTMJ breaking newsroom. An early morning police chase leads to a crash and arrest. It started about 12:30 this morning near 76th and Grange in Greendale. A woman entered a closed business and took merchandise. Police believe she was involved in 2 robberies of an employee at the same business earlier this month. Police tried to pull over her SUV. She fled from the scene, eventually crashing into another vehicle at 76th and Capitol. There were no injuries. Turns out the SUV was also stolen. The 21-year-old woman from Milwaukee faces multiple charges.
Milwaukee's public safety building needs some upgrades. Milwaukee County Executive David Crowley tells WTMJ that's part of his goal for next year.
We're looking at a $400 million economic development project here in Milwaukee. And so if we were able to, tear that building down, rebuild it, we would not only be able to create even more operational efficiencies, but we can make sure that the justice system is no longer slowed down. We can get rid of our backlog and really move forward in delivering for individuals throughout the community.
Crowley says he hopes to get state support for the building when the new executive session starts in January.
Making their first appearance in court in Wisconsin's fake electors scheme, Trump's Wisconsin attorney Jim Trupis, campaign advisory attorney Kenneth Chesbrough, and Election Day operations director Mike Roman each face 11 felony forgery charges. In 2020, all 3 created a document that falsely said then-President Trump won Wisconsin's 10 Electoral College votes. They attempted to deliver the news to then-President Mike Pence for congressional certification. Jim Trupis.
4 years ago, this very day, Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Hall was told about our plan, and he approved it.
And the 3 are due back in court January 28th.
Staying smart around the holidays.
You're sober, you drive.
The Wisconsin State Patrol joins local law enforcement today to kick off the annual Drive Sober or Get Pulled Over campaign. More than 7,500 officers across the state will be looking for impaired drivers now through New Year's Day. During the holiday season last year, 12 people died in nearly 400 crashes involving drunk drivers.
Breaking Brewers news. We'll have it in sports along with traffic and weather next. Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 12:34.
Hey, Dan, another satisfied client.
Yeah?
Marlo just told me that having organized spaces has completely reset the tone of their household.
I bet they're easily finding what they need.
Yep, their shoes, their coats.
They can find their keys. They aren't tripping over toys.
Exactly, because everything has a place.
Changing lives one space at a time. Let us help you calm your chaos today at Inspired Closets. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Did you know that military veterans in Wisconsin carry millions of dollars in debt? This holiday season, it's time to give back to those who have given so much. Verizon and the Milwaukee Bucks are teaming up with Forgive Co. to make a difference with the Verizon Debt Relief Program. All December long, Verizon and Forgive Co. will relieve $250,000 of debt each week to ease the burden on local heroes. To find out how military veterans and members can receive special Verizon offers, visit Verizon.com/military. Let's bring the spirit of giving to those who served.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Relive the enjoyment of holiday shopping with Winky's Hallmark and Gifts selection of holiday decor, gift wrap, cards, and gifts. Carry on traditions with advent calendars, English party crackers, and unique ornaments. Enjoy candies and chocolates made locally and imported from Europe. And set the mood with candles that offer scents from Christmases past. Visit us on the corner of Silver Spring and Lake Drive in Whitefish Bay or shop online at winkysgifts.com.
Gotta get to Winkies now.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Major League Baseball insider Jeff Passan reporting the Brewers are finalizing a trade that'll send all-star closer Devin Williams to the New York Yankees. A two-time All-Star and two-time National League Reliever of the Year. Williams spent portions of 6 seasons with the Brewers. Left-handed starting pitcher Nestor Cortez and 24-year-old infield prospect Caleb Durbin, part of the package coming back to Milwaukee. Packers appear to be a healthy team heading into Sunday's game against the Seahawks in Seattle. Green Bay a 2.5-point favorite for that contest. And a big day of women's volleyball. Marquette takes on top seed Penn State in the Sweet 16 of the NCAA tournament this afternoon at 2:30. The Badgers take on Texas A&M tonight. You can hear that match on WTMJ with coverage beginning at 5:30.
Let's go ahead right now and get you an update on the roads. It has been a bit disastrous up in Washington County on I-41. There was a disabled vehicle at one point, and then on one side, and then there was a crash on the other side. It looks like both have now cleared, at least according to 511, but I do see a little bit of slowing yet. It looks like it's getting better. I think both of these just cleared, but this was Washington County, I-41 around Mohawk Road. Also, County D, that area was having issues as well. So just a heads up, if you're in that area, if you are still seeing delays, that's why. But it looks like things are clearing up.
Some pops of sun today. Clouds are going to roll in eventually. A high of 28 degrees. That's also our overnight low. Temperatures expected to be in the low 40s tomorrow with rain moving in later at night. 43 the high on Sunday. 48 the high on Monday. Rain on both days expected. 18 and sunny in Milwaukee at 12:38.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire.
Greg and Jessica with you. It's
so
Wisconsin's
delightful.
Midday News on WTMJ. Always looking for fun things to do with the family around this time of year.
Of course.
Right, so we like coming
memories.
downtown and we check out holiday lights. We get a hot cocoa, we get a crumble cookie or something like that. And that's just my wife and I. The kids really enjoy some of this stuff too. We have a lot of fun. We're always looking for something a little interesting and different. So I wanted to bring this into the equation here. It's a really fascinating adventure at Rock Ventures. You know where it is, right? In Franklin. And the CEO, the founder of Rock Ventures, is Mike Zimmerman. He has created this whole winter wonderland in Milwaukee. It's gorgeous. It's kind of an unforgettable experience here. It's the Snow Globe Holiday Festival, and you can take advantage. Bring the family out tonight or this weekend. Mike joins us on the line right now. Hey, Mike.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
You're doing great. So this is such a fun and cool, interesting thing. I know it's been up and running since, I think, just a little before Thanksgiving, goes through the end of December. It's at Franklin Field, right at Ballpark Commons, right there in Franklin. Walk us through the design and what people will experience if they want to embark on this enchanting snow globe.
Yeah, for sure. So, first off, it's in a baseball field, right? It's nestled in Franklin Field, which is great. And that's what, we're trying to do is do more programming. We had a Taco Tequila Festival. We did Enchant last year, and we're doing it again this year. But, the experiences are there's a lot going on, right? I think, in terms of the core of what's there, you've got this, inspired light maze that we've got going on. We've got a whole kind of entertainment component throughout the night. So, as an example, the Dancing Grannies, which I think everybody's familiar with, are coming every Saturday at 5:30.
Awesome.
We've got a village market, so people can go out and make purchases. Everything from jewelry to scented candles to merchandise, and the whole food and beverage operation with fun, kind of Christmas-oriented food, beverage. Ice skating trail is one of the crowd favorites. We've got new this year some new pop-up bars. We've got a little speakeasy. We've got heated tents, which are new this year. We'll do some VIP packages, proposals. People come out there to do, to get engaged. Last but not least, they can come see the beloved Santa Claus and get a picture with Santa.
Okay, you can't beat Santa. But Mike, I have to ask, when you were mentioning the Christmas cocktails and the pop-up bar, are you guys the place where I remember seeing before all these Instagrammable spots with those large Christmas light bulb drinks? I feel like everywhere it was just people had to get one of those drinks because they had to take a post for Instagram.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so we still sell the light bulb cups. They blink. They can be mixed with, and we have all sorts of just really fun cocktails there. And then the whole field is just filled with other kind of Instagrammable moments for couples to kids, all sorts of demographics.
So, yeah, at the heart of this whole festival, you've got this incredible snow globe light maze. So picture the family just sort of wandering through this forest of sparkling lights, and everything is glittering and shining up. And it is so cool, Mike. It's like an enchanted forest there, right there inside a baseball field.
Yeah, it's unique, right? I mean, so last year, if you guys remember, so Enchant kind of goes on this national tour. So they picked Milwaukee, they picked our location. We were one of 7 different cities, including Vegas. Was also at Nationals Stadium, a bunch of other big cities. This year, they are only doing 3 cities. But what we wanted to do was kind of keep it going. So we very early on hooked into. They have a studio division called Enchant Studio. So we hooked into their studio division, worked with them to create new light assets. So we have a 100-foot tree and a bunch of other things, bought a bunch of things from them, and just really felt like this is something that, Milwaukee, Waukesha, even Chicago would want to do every year. So our long-term strategy is to not just have this come in every decade, but to, make it kind of a staple for families every year.
Definitely seems like a go-to destination. And the snow globe-inspired light maze that you're talking about, how much work does that take to put that all together? And any idea how many lights are involved?
Well, I haven't counted them, but they said 4 million. It's a little bigger show last year, so I would guess, it's a pretty similar size show, so 3 to 4 million lights. But in terms of putting this thing on, it's no joke. As soon as the baseball season is over, we've got to put floor protection in, and then we've got to get all these things out there and battle the elements. So, and then we hire close to 200 people, from elves to ticket takers to food and beverage folks. So it's not an easy thing, but we're kind of built for that, and that's the business we want to be in.
Yeah, Mike, we like to be accurate here on Wisconsin's Midday News. If you could get out there and start counting the lights and then check back in with us a little later tonight.
Yeah, I'll have to report back in next year then, if that's
okay. Get started. It might take you a minute. So the hours of operation, if you want to be a part of this, it's a ticketed event. I've got the email just sent to me from Ballpark Commons. This just popped into my email inbox. Open till 9:30. It's 4:30 to 9:30 tonight, and then extended hours on Saturday, 3:30 to 10:30, Sunday, 3:30 to 9:30. So that's just this weekend, Mike, but you guys are running through the end of December with this.
Yeah, we are starting today. We're every day up until December 30th. We do take off Christmas, give our employees the opportunity to spend that day with their families. But yeah, it's and some two things I do want to just put out there. One is on December 16th, 17th, and 18th, we've got in partnership with our partner Drink Wisconsin. We've got a cheaper ticket. So go look on the website. It's a $20 ticket. Also, I'm going to throw out to all the listeners that we on any day will offer everybody 20% off. They just got to go in and put in a code. Snowy SNOWY 20, and that'll get you 20% off of everything you buy on online.
Well, there you go. Really cool stuff. Go check it out. Ballpark Commons. Mike Zimmerman is the CEO of Rock Ventures. Always doing interesting things down there in Franklin, and this is a great thing to do for the family, and should be a fun night tonight. Not a bad night. 28 degrees, right?
No, weather looks good.
Enjoy it.
Fantastic. We always love a discount, so thanks for that, Mike.
And Mike, we look forward to
I appreciate you guys.
You bet. We'll look forward to your count of the lights a little later this afternoon.
Fair enough. Okay.
Appreciate it.
Happy
Mike.
holidays, everybody.
Yeah, you the same.
Thank you.
It's 12:45 on WTMJ. We've got the Final Sody Award winner. The Final Sody Award winner.
Sodies.
It's been a very big week here on Wisconsin's Morning News, honoring their standouts of the year. The Final Sody Award. What's cooking up in Eric and Vinny's world? Hint. It's after this.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, J&J Contractors. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. And at 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact NX Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at nxwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
Protecting your family's legacy since 1999, it's the folks at Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center. Greg Matzik here. Want to turn you to Dan Krause in Krause Estate Planning. If you're sort of in that world where you're starting to piece things together for yourself or a loved one, talking about will generation or estate planning, trying to figure out ways to protect what you've earned and built over all these years. Well, Krause Estate Planning can help you through that process from start to finish. They understand how it works. They understand Medicare and Medicaid, how to make the most of what you've built and earned over the years. Dan Krause, a retired Army veteran who now has more than 25 years experience in this space, working with you on a customized plan to protect what you've earned and built. With offices now open in Brookfield, in Madison, and in Oregon, it's Krause Estate Planning and Elder Law Center. Learn more about this company and how they can help you. Krause Estate Planning.
The holidays are happening at Diamonds Direct. Now through Sunday, it's our last chance sale with 20% off virtually everything. Plus special financing options up to 5 years. Plus special designer appearances. Our 20% off last chance sale ends Sunday. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
You're not just a job number as a Sidex customer. They've been family-owned since 1988, and they treat you as part of their family. Upgrade and transform your current bathroom space with Sidex Windows Siding and Bath. They have seasoned design consultants with 10 to 30 years of experience. The owner, Joe, is honoring his dad's legacy with top-tier products and expert craftsmanship. It's Sidex, the best in the business. Get a free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ. Visit sidexremodel.com.
Politics, work, daily stressors. Let's take a break from all that and get centered, Christ-centered. I'm Pastor Tim Butker. Join me each week for Christian Crusaders, a broadcast that highlights the gospel, the good news of Jesus, and our belief in the authoritative Word of God. Christ-centered, gospel-oriented, Bible-based Christian Crusaders. Please join us Sundays at 6 a.m. on WTMJ. We'd love to have you worship with us.
I remember a guy by the name of Al Stankovich. Oh, yes.
Ben and Arvid Huth, brothers and owners of Penny Mustard Furnishings.
I have never seen children so well behaved as his children. And I remember saying to him, wow, your kids are well behaved. He looked at me and said, well, we work on it. His son looked at me and says, yep, he works on it. I'll never forget that line from his son, who was maybe 8, 9 years old at the time. But Al and his wife bought, it was the first big bedroom set we ever sold. It was the Paramount bedroom set. It was a beautiful bedroom set we had at the time, made in Spencer, Wisconsin. I don't think he knew, and I think we were scared to tell him that it was the biggest sale we ever made at the point in time, but it was an absolute huge sale. I think we were dancing after he walked out the door.
Well, I think we were in the store at 11:30 or midnight, just visiting with them. They're just
nice people,
really nice people, and it was just one of them perfect all-around transactions.
Yes.
Nice people.
Good customer, just a good guy. His wife was really nice.
Yep.
I remember that sale.
I delivered that.
See more at pennymustard.com.
Well, the cold snap is a thing of the past here. It's a little chilly out right now, but we're going to actually be warming up to 28 degrees and holding there through the overnight hours. Our high tomorrow, 40 degrees, rain expected late. Rain in the forecast on Sunday and Monday, but temperatures remain in the 40s, 48 the high on Monday. It's 18 degrees and partly sunny in Milwaukee at 12:49. All this week, Wisconsin's Morning News is featuring a standout of the year, people who have made an impact in the state in 2024. Today, the standout of the year honoree is a celebrity, Milwaukee chef Dan Jacobs.
Well, chefs, you've worked all season long to get to this point.
Milwaukee chef Dan Jacobs on the season finale of the hit show Top Chef on Bravo.
Let's start with the first course, Dan's tuna dish.
Being on Top Chef has always been a dream of mine. I believe I tried out 13 times and you guys finally decided that this was the one.
Jacobs, a James Beard semifinalist, is not new to the culinary scene. He's been working in the city since 2011 and currently owns and operates Esterev and Dan Dan.
Dan Jacobs has been a fixture in Milwaukee kitchens.
High praise from Milwaukee restaurateur Paul Bartolotta during the red carpet premiere of the show at Discovery World.
An incredible individual who is committed to the Milwaukee culinary community.
Chef Dan Jacobs has been part of I see it as a continued elevation of the Milwaukee food scene.
WTMJ's What's on Tap host Sandy Mack.
We had an official Milwaukee representative, but he really made Milwaukee, Wisconsin look good.
Restaurante's been in the same location for 30 years. Anytime you can have a restaurant around for that long, there's a reason for it. You feel the love in that space. It's a special place.
What makes Jacob's story even more compelling this year is the fact that he lives with Kennedy's disease.
I deal with a rare neuromuscular disease, very similar to ALS, not as debilitating or quickly moving, but I'm losing the ability to walk, talk. You can hear a little bit of graveliness in my voice. That's a part of it. Grip issues, a lot of physical stuff is just kind of slowly starting to decline. Like I wear braces on both my legs so I can still walk around and do stuff.
The thing about Dan's is how every bite presented something new to me.
The seasoning was incredible. And one of the most important things with soup is making sure that it's seasoned properly.
We killed it.
We did.
He's become a great advocate for people who get the disease because he showed in real life how he continues to be a creative chef and a successful businessman while living with these day-to-day symptoms.
Earlier this year, Jacobs helped raise more than $100,000 for Kennedy's disease research.
This season inspires people who are differently able to pursue their passions, especially in the culinary world where I know it's difficult. But really, it's just about putting your mind to it, man. We all have issues, we all have, troubles, but if you want to do something, just do it. Do it.
Yeah.
You are an inspiration. I absolutely did exactly what I came here to do, and that was to inspire people.
Jacobs would fall short of winning Top Chef, but the future is bright.
With Dan Jacobs being such a fan favorite and nearly winning, you have to think he'll be on future shows, which is good for Milwaukee and Wisconsin and our culinary scene.
Milwaukee loves them, so shout out to Dan.
What would you say to Dan Jacobs if he's here right now?
Make me some food, bro.
Dan Jacobs, the final SOTY Award winner, as announced by Wisconsin's Morning News earlier today, and certainly a deserving recipient because he was in the news every week as part of our programs. And anybody who covered and watched Top Chef, you were rooting for the hometown guy, and he was right there at the end, right there.
And let's not forget how many people really, in their minds, believe that he won. It wasn't just us. I mean, we were rooting for him, of course, but there were so many people who really felt like he should have taken the cake on that one.
Yeah, and we had him in studio as the show was just beginning, and of course he couldn't spill the beans on really anything, but did say it was sort of a transformative experience, and you could see it, and it was a lot of fun to watch. Our kids loved watching it, and they're young, but they were into it every night. Is it a Top Chef night? We were talking about it as a family, so such a cool opportunity for him, and yes, I would imagine it would lead to more opportunities.
I didn't want the show to end, and it's so great that he just continues to raise awareness for Kennedy's disease, and he's been all over the place, also doing a ton of chef collabs, teaming up with some of the other people from Top Chef for menus and some fun nights. And in fact, I just took a peek. He was in New York City as well, so he's just coming back from a whirlwind week in New York City, and yeah, he's out there.
Yeah, he and the other Dan, the Dan who won it, right? There was two Dans. There was a Dan and a Danny. So Danny won it,
yes.
But they've already done stuff together here in Milwaukee. So keep an eye on Dan Jacobs' restaurant, Dan Dan. And they've got some cool events.
In Esterev.
Yeah.
Went to Esterev for my birthday, so that was great.
Definitely a wonderful restaurant. No doubt about that. We are out of time of the program. Hope you have a great weekend here. Enjoy it with those you care about the most. Jessica and I will be back on Monday. Thanks to Brandon Stein for producing the program. We'll have the news coming up in just a few minutes, followed by Spanning the State. It's after this on WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station. Wisconsin winters are unpredictable.
This is history. Never had a tornado touchdown in February.
We keep you updated on blizzards.
Winter storm warning has been issued for all of southeast Wisconsin, and it's going to get really, really dicey.